So, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to our March 21st, 2023 Board of Supervisors meeting. Before we call this meeting to order, I would like to remind and ask everyone to please either turn off your cell phones, put them on vibrate. If not, you're going to have to buy lunch for everyone in the room, and that could get expensive. I also want to take the opportunity to welcome Mr. Gudenkoff and his middle school civics class to our meeting today. I understand they're going to, after our meeting here, they're going to go down and see how the judicial system works in teen court, I believe, with Mr. Guzman over there. So with that, Erica, as the president, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, young lady?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Erica. So, adoption of the agenda. Madam Manager,
Good morning. There are no changes to the agenda.
the chair will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as posted and allow chair to deviate as necessary.
So moved.
I will second the motion. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes and our agenda is adopted. Call to the public. I don't have any slips here under call to the public. Do we have any people on Zoom land that would like to address the board? Seeing none, we'll go to current events and we'll start with Supervisor Maleta.
Morning, Mr. Chair.
Morning.
Good morning. First and foremost, I want to welcome Jeff Gudenkoff and Patagonia Civics class. Good to see young, aspiring individuals. Thanks for attending. I had a busy week last week. Last 2 weeks, I had the privilege and honor of going up to the state with the Fresh Produce Association and some of their members. Fresh Produce Director Lance Grudgemeyer, Allison Georgina, Jorge Donadu from Fresh Farms, Rachel Espinosa from Produce House, and we had I'm going to say about 15 meetings with our state legislators. We saw our Senate President, our Speaker of the House. We saw our Senator Gabaldon. She greeted us real nicely. And along with that, we saw, like I said, about 15 of our legislators. We also saw our new director of transportation, Jennifer Tosh, I believe is her name. And she was, it was good to see her. And our main goal from Santa Cruz County was to push infrastructure. Infrastructure being Exit 12. Exit 12 and 17 is our next big project that we have on our board. It includes Exit 12, a diversion diamond, and then the east frontage going both ways, not just one way, and Exit 12, making it real accessible to all our trucks coming in from Mexico and going to Mexico. We also talked about our bridge that is on Ruby Road that will eventually, that's right by Pilot, where the railroad crosses. That bridge will take cars over the train, and that way we don't have to stop for the train and it doesn't cause that bottleneck there anymore. And a roundabout on Ramanote. So it was a busy week. I also went to small counties last Wednesday where Senator Gowan was our guest speaker. Then the following day to CSA, our Thursday meeting, which was our guest speaker there was the former SRP, actually, he's Director of the Water Infrastructure Finance Authority, Chuck Podolak, and Trevor Bajor, the Division Director of Arizona Department of ADQ, was also the keynote speaker. We also heard about a couple bills that were putting a red flag out to, one being HB 2561, City Water Provider. We oppose that. SB 1197, Juvenile Offenders Monetary Sanctions. We oppose that as well. SB 1700, School Libraries, Books, Prohibition. We oppose that as well. And we were neutral on HB 2509, Food Preparation. And that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Supervisor Maleta, and Supervisor Bracker's not here today because he's at a meeting up in Tucson with the border counties group. They're hosting the governor, and I think Secretary Mayorkas from Homeland Security is going to be with them there today, and then I believe he's coming down to do a tour of the Mariposa port of entry, so he's not here. You know, I participated in the ACO Board of Directors meeting on Friday as well, similar to the CSA, where the board votes to either oppose, support, or stay neutral on certain legislative items that are occurring. And I know that transportation is a big deal for us. At our last trip to DC, we did meet with the Transportation Department about securing more funds for the at-grade crossing there by the pilot. We've already have some money put aside to that through our budget, some money that was budgeted by the state that went into the pot, but we're still, I don't know, about 3 million or so short, Jesus, from being able to do that project. And I think we're very concerned that when the train is there, the inspection for the train is just up the way, and it creates congestion that sometimes goes all the way out to the interstate. So we want to make sure that traffic is able to move freely through there, especially during produce season when there's a lot of congestion with many of the produce trucks. So with that, I will go over to our manager, Ms. St. John.
Good morning again. Over the last 2 weeks, I attended my first WIOA board meeting in quite some time. Iracema and her team did a wonderful job. We had a packed house, so that was good to see those board members engaged and being active in that board meeting. I am continuing to work on the personnel policies as well as the class and comp study. I also attended a county managers meeting in Phoenix as well as our risk insurance monthly meeting. And then Supervisor Bracker, Jesus, and I met with the governor's Southern Arizona office. And that's all I have to report.
Great. Thank you. It's good to see you, Dr. Varona. I like your jacket. We'll move on to item E, department reports and activities. 1, finance, cash, investment, expenditure, revenue reports. Mauricio, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board.
Morning.
The cash and investment report, the general fund has an overall balance of $19,539,366 with an investment amount of $14,561,000. The road fund has an overall balance of $1,242,236 with an investment amount of $7,144. The flood control district has an overall balance of $1,116,829 with an investment amount of just a little bit over $270,000. The jail district has an overall balance of $4,445,748 with an investment amount of just a little bit over $1 million. Total for all funds, overall balance $50,344,256 with an investment amount of $17,725,720 for an estimated end of the month balance of $15,115,395.
Thank you, Mauricio. Any questions, Supervisor Maleta?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mauricio.
Yes, sir.
We'll move on then to workforce development. Hirasema, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. Traffic in our office has picked up at a significant rate. We are currently averaging around 213 clients a week compared to the average of 170 in previous months. We see these numbers picking up in the next few months once the produce season starts going down. Thanks to the help of our Santa Cruz County IT team, we have been able to implement a system for registration using kiosks that will allow us to track better client flow within the office, and are working hard to bring a robust referral system to work better on how partners within One Stop keep track of client flow. We have also been working with Juan from our IT department to get the satellite office in Sonoita up and running now that we have a set contract with Lumen to set up internet service in the building. Once that is up, we will be providing services to that area of Santa Cruz County. Our staff outreach activities have gone up from last quarter. The staff continues to focus on going out and presenting to local businesses, community agencies, and local schools in order to bring awareness to the community regarding WIOA services within Santa Cruz County. Because of this, we have seen a growing interest in training opportunities. Our current in-school youth program will be ending at the end of June, and staff is engaging even more with those students that will be graduating to offer short-term trainings to those interested in a fast-paced career. We currently have a total of 34 students on our waiting list for the upcoming in-school youth program at the start of June. We currently have a total of 3 H-1B grant participants. 1 entered into training, 2 are in the process of completing the requirements to enter into training. This H-1B grant consists of IT training and logistics, and I'm happy to be working with our IT department, which currently has 2 of our participants doing on-the-job training with them while finishing up their certifications. Our out-of-school youth who were registered in the Rio Rico Fire Academy have all recently passed their EMT certifications and are in the process of completing their fire science certs. These participants are training while getting paid experience. We are also in the process of working with the fire district to start a new academy in August or September. A total of 4 out-of-school youth have been registered for services, 3 of which are in the process to enter into training and 1 receiving basic services. We are currently working with 7 adult participants, 4 in the process to enter training, 3 are in basic services, and 3 previous who have completed CDL training and have entered into employment. We have been diligently working to work with more businesses in the community, and now that we have a business service rep on board, we have had more involvement with reaching out to local businesses to offer services. In the past quarter, we have been able to post and register in an Arizona Job Connection system a total of 64 job postings from local businesses. 19 we confirmed hired, 11 confirmed hired using Arizona at Work, and 8 hired outside Arizona at Work. These job postings are all posted locally in our office. We use social media and the Arizona Job Connection state database. We hope these numbers will continue to go up once our BSR is fully trained and ready to go out and visit businesses. Santa Cruz County Workforce Development is currently working with our Workforce Development Board on our board recertification. This recertification happens when a new governor takes office. I'm happy to announce that as of our last local workforce development board meeting, we are fully in compliance with a full board, including members from transportation, logistics, higher education, and small businesses, and hope that with all these entities, we will be able to have more collaboration in bringing better workforce opportunities to Santa Cruz County. We continue to attend various partner meetings, collaborating at state and local levels in an attempt to identify and address specific needs and or skills that employers are seeking with the ultimate vision of strengthening our local workforce. Thank you.
Any questions, Supervisor Maleta?
No, good job.
Irasema, thank you, and thank you for taking time to meet with me, both personally and on the phone. I know there was a misunderstanding at another meeting, but I really appreciate what you're doing, what you're trying to do, and I see that the program goals as identified are being met. And so, you know, here's a resource that sometimes our community overlooks and doesn't take advantage. And I know there are some barriers perhaps where they may not, but I think you will find that the staff there will do everything they can to make sure that they qualify you for one of their programs. So if any of you need any kind of training or anything, please reach out to Irasema, and perhaps they can assist you in developing a program. So
Thank
thank
you,
you.
man. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to action items. And I forgot to recognize our county treasurer, Mrs. Moreno. Thank you for joining us here today. It's good to see you. Or county treasurer. No.
County recorder.
No, she's a county recorder. I said treasurer. That's Liz Gutfar. Either I promoted you or demoted you, Anita. But anyway, our county recorder. My apologies. So, we'll move on to action items. 1, discussion possible action for authorization to fill A, Chief Deputy Recorder position, B, Court System Analyst position, C, Juvenile Probation Secretary position, and that's grant funded. Then D, Patrol Sergeant position, and E is 2, Deputy Sheriff's position. All of them are budgeted.
Move to approve.
I will second that. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously, and those positions can be filled. We'll go on to item 2, discussion possible action to approve the appointment of precinct committee persons for the Santa Cruz County Democratic Party, requested by Francis Glad of the Democratic Party Chair. A, Brianna Ortega for Tubac 11. B, Maria L. Courtright Verdugo, Calabasas 17. And Dalia Glad Potrero 22. Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
And I will second that. All in favor signify by saying aye. Motion carries and appointments are made. Item 3, discussion, possible action to approve intergovernmental agreements with Nogales Unified School District Number 1 for the ESSER 3 Invest in Your Youth program through September 30th, 2024 in the amount of $3,500. And item B, Sonoyta Elementary School District for the ESSER 3 Invest in Our Youth ADA Grant for Early Childhood Initiative in the amount of $500,000. Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
I will second that. Any questions, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item number 4, discussion, possible action to create and fill positions for ESSER 3 grant for A, an assistant coordinator for arts, and B, an assistant coordinator for history and humanities. These are grant-funded positions. Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
I will second that. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. We will move on to item 5, discussion, possible action to approve the renewal contract with the Local Workforce Development Board for a one-stop operator from August 31st, 2022 through August 30th, 2024. Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
I will second that, and this is just, I think, is this what you were talking about, Irasema? About the contract? Great. If there is no other discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 6, discussion, possible action to approve the Local Judicial Collection Enhancement Fund, JCEF grant to fund Circle of Peace from January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023 in the amount of $25,000. Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
I will second that. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 7, discussion possible action to approve agreement and addendum with Salls Creek Engineering to reduce subscription fees to the amount of $500 per month. Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
I will second that, and this was the item that was tabled at our last meeting because of the price, and I'm glad you were able to negotiate something better, Anita. Appreciate it.
I want to thank our county recorder for reducing that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. If there's no other discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So none opposed, motion carries. Item 8, discussion, possible action to approve amendment number 3 to the Arizona Department of Health Services Intergovernmental Agreement number CTR 058658 to modify the price sheet. And Chair will entertain a motion,
Move to approve.
and I'll second that. And what is the price sheet? Jeff?
Good morning, members of the board. The price sheet is our budget for that contract, and we had moved a lot into contractual, and we're not using it in contractual, so we're moving it back to salaries.
Oh, okay,
Okay?
great, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
So there is a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 9, discussion possible action to approve Medical Reserve Corps contract number MRC 23-1874 from effective date through September 29th, 2023. Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second, and this one, Jeff? Yeah,
Yeah, this is to fund our Medical Reserve Corps, to help recruit volunteers and for a future response that we may have.
great, thank you. There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion or comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 10, discussion possible action to approve the professional services agreement with Tyler Technology, Inc. for incident response planning, testing, in the amount of $50,000. Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
I will second that. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 11, discussion possible action to approve grant agreement number GRT 22-000895-1-T with the Arizona Department of Transportation for the Airport Pavement Management System Program at the Nogales International Airport for the estimated amount of $245,286, or up to 10% of the actual shared cost. And so, Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second, and discussion, Jennifer.
Yes, sir. I would just like to thank Ms. Mary Dahl for continuing to get these unexpected airport grants. And in this case, I would like to point out that we have received so many additional. This $245, 286 is what is estimated to be our 10% share, but that is not budgeted. So in this motion, you will be allowing us to move that money from the general fund into, like the board's budget, into the airport as well. It does say up to 10% of the actual shared cost, because when the item gets bid out, if it's more, then our 10% could be more. But we just want to make clear that in this case, it's not budgeted, but we're getting almost $2.5 million, so we don't want to pass that up.
So then we need to restate our motion to allow the transfer of our general fund into,
I think it's okay. I worked with Mr. May on the wording, so the way the agenda is worded is fine. I just wanted to point out that in this case, it is an unbudgeted amount.
yeah, because when we were presenting, you said you were asking us to approve the transfer. So our motion says just to approve. It doesn't say to approve the transfer. So I guess semantics, but I want to make sure that what we do is legal and not get us in trouble in the future. So you feel that it's fine the way it was
I think
moved
it
and
is.
approved?
I think it is. The key issue is that the grant is approved so that they can sign off on the agreements of the grant. The budget issue can be brought up certainly at a later time if needed, but at this point, the key issue was making sure that
We had the funds.
this agreement was, is signed off on.
Okay. Okay, so if we need to take further action, we will, is what you're saying, Bob.
Correct.
Great, good.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just real quickly, I want to thank Mary as well, and this will be providing paving for both the runway and the taxiway, right?
Correct. With the grants we've already approved and this grant, the entire runway and taxiway will be repaved.
Awesome.
We're gonna have an awesome airport. Now we just need to make sure that people use it more.
Great.
Right?
Thank you.
And then thank you to Mary too for her hard work. There is a motion and a second. Hearing no further discussion or comments. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 12, discussion, possible action to authorize Mary Dahl Special Projects to sign a Federal Aviation Administration Airport Improvement Program grant application for a fuel tank replacement design, project in the amount of $166,570, of which the county's obligation, if awarded, would be $7,446.
Move to approve.
I'll second that. And under discussion, I think we're fortunate that many of the improvements that have been made and will continue to be made at our little international airport, the vast majority of it comes either from federal funds or state aviation funds. And usually between 5 and 10% of the cost comes to the county directly. So, that's even better than winning the lottery, I think, but we'll have a wonderful airport out there. So again, thanks to Mary, and hopefully we're able to secure this one. Any comments, Supervisor Maleta?
No, sir.
Great, there's a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Motion carries unanimously. Item 13, discussion, possible action to approve contract with Kimberly Horn pursuant to S-21-09-CO08 for the Patagonia Flood Control Project feasibility study and alternative analysis phase 1. Jesus?
Mr. Chair, member of the board, good morning. This is very similar to the Nogales Wash study that we did. So what we're going to look at is the hydrology and the hydraulics of the whole system and see if we could reduce the floodplain. It's a positive project for the town.
Great. Good job.
Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
I'll second that, and, anytime we can help our communities get out of that floodway, a few things, it allows for investment, but it also lowers the cost of their flood insurance, so premiums, so,
Correct, Mr. Chair.
thank you. So, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion or comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 14, discussion, possible action to authorize request for proposals number B-04-23CO28 solicitation for the furnishing of and delivery of aggregate covered chip material.
Mr. Chair, this is also part of our annual chip seal or our annual road maintenance program. So we want to solicit for cover material chips so that we can start, get delivered by May.
Great.
Move to approve.
I'll second that. Any comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. We'll move on to item 15, discussion, possible action to adopt resolution number 2023-3, establishing a weight limit for Santa Cruz River Bridge number 08169 and approving proper signage. Jesus, is this the one that over across from the Little Red Schoolhouse?
No, sir.
This is a different one?
Yes, this is closer to Loquillo,
To Loquillo?
where
Okay.
where the bridge goes over the Santa Cruz. So in our last bridge inspection report that ADOT does for us every 2 years, they identify the bridge as being somewhat deficient. So they urge us to sign it. I think it was 15 tons
Okay.
Is the weight limit?
is the weight limits that they want us to establish. We have to do it through ordinance so that we could actually ticket somebody if they
To
don't
try to
comply.
enforce. Okay, perfect. Okay, Chair will entertain, what's that?
This was done as a resolution.
As a resolution.
Yes. So Bob handled this.
There we go.
This was done as a resolution in the immediate, just because we needed to get something to authorize us to put out signs, but there's gonna be an ordinance coming subsequently so that we can also enforce it.
Okay,
Thank you for clarification.
so because we need it immediately, resolution to fix it permanently, we need an ordinance.
Yep, correct.
Thank you. So, I don't think that, do you make a motion, Supervisor Maleta?
Move to approve,
Second?
in case we haven't.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember. I think you started talking before we did. So there's a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 16, discussion and possible action to approve proclamation declaring November 29th, 2023 as National Vietnam War Veterans Day. Chair will entertain a motion
I will be honored. I move to approve.
and second, and, you know, in our country that is so great that we live in is because of the sacrifice of many of the soldiers that have taken up the call to protect what makes this country great. And I know that the Vietnam War was not good to our veterans, and I've talked to many of them how they were treated after they came back from their service, and we can never forget, and we can never not remember these brave men and women and their families that have sacrificed to protect what we have, and we can't take it for granted either. So I hope that all of you, if you know any Vietnam vets, that you thank them from the bottom of our heart, and the community, that we really do appreciate all the sacrifices that they went through and their families. So, and do you have anything else to add, Supervisor Molina?
No, it's just an honor to.
Thank you. So, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Madam Manager, for bringing that to the board. Item 17, discussion, possible action to approve application for fireworks display at the Tubac Golf Resort on April 28th, 2023. Everything in order, Madam Clerk?
Vice Chairman Reyes, Supervisor Malera, yes, everything is in order.
Great. Chair will
Move to
entertain a
approve.
motion. Second, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 18, discussion possible action to approve bond for duplicate warrant number 2-109136 in the amount of $150 dated 11/22/22, payable to Evelyn Sandoval. Everything in order, Madam Clerk?
Yes, everything is in order.
Move to approve.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 19, tax valuations A through E. Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
I will second that. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 20, monthly reports. Madam Clerk, are all the reports in?
Yes, all reports are in.
Go ahead and
Move to
move it.
approve.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by
Aye.
saying aye. Motion carries unanimously. Item 21, approval of minutes of 3/7/2023.
Move to approve.
Second, discussion. Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Demands, Supervisor Moleta.
Mr. Chair, move to approve demands totaling $1,207,534.11, of which $553,377.90 are from the general fund.
I will second that motion. If there is no further discussion or comment, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 23 and 24 are part of the study session, so at this time, I will entertain a motion to recess our regular meeting and convene into the public hearing.
So move.
Second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Great. Public hearing, request to adopt ordinance number 2023-02 to set, modify, and increase the solid waste user fee at the Rio Rico landfill, Sonoyta Elgin landfill, and the Tubac Amado transfer station. Mr. Valdez, good morning.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, so we want to adjust our fee schedule. We had a sliding fee schedule, so the more you brought in, you got a discount. We want to take that subsidy away and just charge everybody $45 per ton. This only affects commercial at this time.
Okay.
That's the only increase being proposed.
Okay. So what's the current fee right now?
29.
29?
If you bring over 26,000 tons, which the city was, their vendor, in order to capture that waste stream, we lower the price so we could, build our coffers. Since that, we've done that. So we just want to increase it back.
Okay. And of course, because we have to have money in there for a lot of things, post-closure, monitoring, siting, scoping, engineering for a new landfill should that
Yes, sir.
landfill that we have gets full. So that's some of the reasons.
Yes, sir.
So we'll open it up to please, Mr. McCoon, if you come to the podium.
A question for clarification, gentlemen, Mr. Chairman, Board. Does this affect the residential dumping fees at all whatsoever?
It does not. Everything else stays the same.
Okay.
So it stays at $8.
So it's just for the commercial dumping.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Is that correct? What I have here is residential, if it's over 500 pounds, then it gets prorated at $45 a ton. So like high-volume residential.
That's always been in the case.
Okay.
Yeah, you're correct.
So if you bring under X amount, it's $8.
Yeah.
Once you start bringing in more, then at that point, you'll be weighed, and then you will be assessed at if this thing passes at the $45 a ton price, is that correct?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
so right now, if you bring over 500
Pounds.
pounds into our landfill, you'll be charged $45. That currently exists.
But would you say that most of the residents that use the landfill bring less than 500 pounds?
Oh, yes, by far. By far.
So as long as it's under 500 pounds, they can do that, so.
Yes.
Any other questions from the public? Now's your time. Anyone on Zoom land wish to make a comment? Okay. Well, thank you, Jesus.
Thank you.
Chair will entertain a motion then to adjourn our public hearing and reconvene regular session.
So move.
I'll second that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. We will now go to item 23, discussion possible action to approve ordinance number 23-02 to set. So let's do them backwards? I mean, the
Yeah,
other way?
do the resolution first.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering why they were out of order, but anyway. So, item 24, discussion, possible action to approve resolution number 23-02 to modify and increase the solid waste user fee at the Rio Rico landfill, Sonoyta Elgin landfill, and the Tubac Amato transfer station. Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
I will second that. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Yeah, we just went through this, huh? We had to do the resolution before we did the ordinance. Item 23, discussion possible action to approve ordinance number 2023-02 to set, modify, and increase the solid waste user fee at the Rio Rico landfill, Sonoyta Elgin landfill, and the Tubac Amato transfer station. Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve, sir.
I will second that. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. And at this time, we will recess our meeting to 2 o'clock this afternoon. So thank you, everyone.
Good afternoon. I'd like to call this meeting back to order. Mr. Supervisor Reese.
Great. So at this time, I would like to move that we recess our regular session and convene into executive session for the following two items. One, pursuant to ARS 38-431-0383, discussion and consultation for legal advice regarding the contract for Jesus Valdez as county manager to be effective July 15th of 2023. And item two, pursuant to ARS 38-431-03A1, discussion and negotiations regarding the contract for Jesus Valdez as county manager to be effective July 14th, 2023.
Second.
I have a motion, a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We are in executive session.
So, Mr. Chairman, I move that we adjourn our executive session and reconvene regular meeting
Second.
I have a motion, a second, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimously.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we discuss, and let me put my glasses on.
We open discussion.
That we open discussion on the negotiations regarding a possible contract for County Manager, Mr. Jesus Valdez.
Second,
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. We have, as a board, we have presented a proposed contract and offer with the prospective county manager, and we will continue these discussions on March 27th, 2023 at 9 a.m. and table today's action item.
Is that it? March 27th.
March 27th, 2023, 9 a.m. Okay.
Perfect. So, Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.